Every year, one company auctions more than 4 million vehicles across 11 countries. Most of them written off by an insurance adjuster after a crash. The owner gets a check. The wreck disappears. But disappear to where? The answer is one company you have almost certainly never thought about. It owns more than 17,000 acres of asphalt. It runs the auctions where those written-off vehicles get a second life. And on each one, it collects a fee from the seller and a fee from the buyer. This is Copart, and it is the quietest toll booth in American capitalism. In the 12 months ending July 2025, Copart pulled in $4.65 billion in revenue, not from selling cars, from auctioning cars that other people had already given up on. That number is up from $2.21 billion just 5 years earlier, more than doubled. On vehicles the insurance industry had already declared worthless. Here is how the money actually flows. A driver crashes their car. The insurer inspects it and decides repair costs exceed market value. The vehicle is declared a total loss. The insurer pays the policyholder and takes title to the wreck. Now they have a problem. They own a car they cannot drive, they cannot store on city streets, and they cannot legally sell to a regular consumer. So they call Copart. Copart sends a tow truck, hauls the vehicle to a yard, photographs it, lists it on its online auction, and sells it to a licensed dismantler, rebuilder, or exporter. Copart charges the insurer to handle the car. Then Copart charges the buyer a separate fee to win it. This is what that toll booth looks like at scale. Revenue in 2020 was $2.21 billion. By 2021, 2.7, 2022, 3.5, 2023, 3.87, 2024, 4.24, and in 2025, 4.65 billion. Every single year higher. No down years, no flat years, just steady compounding on a service the country structurally cannot do without. 17,000 acres. That is how much land Copart sits on across more than 250 yards in 11 countries. About 90% of that land is owned outright. Try to compete with that. Try to assemble 17,000 acres of zoned, permitted, environmentally cleared industrial property near every major American metro. It took Copart 4 decades. A new entrant cannot buy their way in at any price. Now watch what falls to the bottom line. Net income in 2021 was $940 million. 2022, $1.09 billion. 2023, $1.24. 2024, $1.4. 2025, $1.6 billion. Net margin north of 30% on a business that is, at its core, towing wrecks and running an auction website. And here is the quiet monopoly thesis. The best businesses are not the loudest. They are not the ones running Super Bowl ads or chasing consumer eyeballs. The best businesses sit between two parties who have no choice but to transact, take a small fee, and never need a marketing budget. Copart does not advertise to you. You will never see a Copart commercial. Because Copart's customers are a concentrated set of insurance carriers on one side and a million licensed buyers on the other. That is the entire universe. A two-sided marketplace with structurally captive demand, structurally captive supply, and a 45.7% gross margin on transactions everyone treats as garbage. 1 million buyers. Spread across 185 countries. A wrecked Honda in Dallas can be bid on simultaneously by a dismantler in Lagos, a rebuilder in Warsaw, and an exporter in Dubai. Global price discovery on a junkyard Civic. That is the network Copart built starting in 2003, when it became the first salvage auction to go exclusively online. Competitors did not catch up until COVID forced them to, nearly 2 decades later. The global online salvage auction market was worth $10.74 billion in 2025. By 2030, analysts forecast $22.15 billion. That is a 15.58% compound annual growth rate. And it is not because more cars are crashing. It is because each crash now costs more to repair than ever before, thanks to embedded sensors, aluminum bodies, and electric drivetrains. Modern cars total faster. Copart's pipeline gets fuller. Here is the counterintuitive truth. Copart does not get richer when the economy booms. It gets richer when cars get more expensive to fix. Every backup camera, every lane keep sensor, every battery pack between the axles raises the repair bill. Push that repair bill high enough relative to the car's value, and the adjuster declares it a total loss. The car goes to Copart. The more advanced our vehicles become, the more of them end up at a salvage yard. Copart is short, the automotive engineering complex, and the automotive engineering complex keeps getting more expensive. Together with IAA, Copart controls roughly 80% of the United States salvage auction market. That is not a market, that is a duopoly. But you will not see antitrust hearings because no consumer feels the price. The fees are buried inside insurance claims, paid by carriers, passed through your premium so smoothly that you have funded Copart for years without ever knowing the company's name. That is the definition of a quiet monopoly. A toll booth invisible to the person paying the toll. So the next time you see a flatbed hauling a wreck off the freeway, follow it in your mind. It is not going to a junkyard. It is going to a $4.65 billion business with 45.7% gross margins, 17,000 acres of land nobody can replicate, and 1 million buyers in nearly 200 countries. Copart never had to convince you. It just had to be there when your car was gone. If you like this kind of teardown, subscribe. The quiet monopolies are the ones worth knowing.